When the world moves too fast, your heart must slow down. Have you ever felt like life is moving too fast? Every morning you grab your phone before you even smile. You scroll through dozens of notifications, check your emails, and rush into a day you can't even remember the purpose of. I used to live like that too. My life felt like a storm. Everything and everyone moving at lightning speed, plans overlapping, my mind stretched thin like a wire ready to snap. And then one day, in the middle of that chaos, I realized something painful. I wasn't really living. I was just moving. A friend of mine in New York once told me, "I work 10 hours a day, but I can't even remember what I ate yesterday." And I understood exactly what he meant. Because when the world demands that we move faster every day, we easily forget the simplest thing, our own rhythm. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, "Do not rush as if you have to live tomorrow. Live deeply, as if every breath were precious." That line made me stop, because slowing down doesn't mean falling behind. It means returning to the true rhythm of life. I remember a patient I once guided, a young woman working in finance. She told me, "I have everything, a great job, a good salary, but I don't feel anything anymore." I asked her, "When was the last time you took a walk without your phone?" She laughed softly and said, "I can't even remember." We live in an age where everything can be faster, fast food, fast internet, fast solutions, and even 5-minute happiness hacks. But the things that truly matter, peace, understanding, wisdom, never come in a hurry. Stoicism, a philosophy born over 2,000 years ago, taught this long before our modern chaos. Haste is the enemy of wisdom. Why? Because when you move too fast, you stop seeing. You stop seeing the people beside you, you stop seeing yourself, and you stop seeing life unfolding all around you. You just keep running, hoping that peace waits somewhere ahead. But peace isn't at the finish line, it's in the pace you choose to walk today. The Stoics believed that slowing down doesn't mean moving slowly, it means living consciously. It means pausing long enough to notice that you're still breathing. It means watching a leaf fall without rushing to take a photo of it. It means listening to the wind and letting your mind settle into its rhythm. I want you to imagine this for a moment. It's morning. You wake up and for once, you don't reach for your phone. You sit by the window, take a deep breath, and feel the sunlight slowly fill the room. You're not doing anything, you're just being. And in that moment, the world no longer pulls you away. You're simply there, present, grounded, real. That's what I want to explore with you today. 7 Stoic ways to slow down in a modern world. 7 small practices that can change the way you experience life. So each day isn't just a race, but a meaningful journey. We'll talk about how to wake up with a calm mind, do less but go deeper, rediscover your natural rhythm, practice intentional silence, stop comparing yourself to the world, reconnect with nature, and finally, let go of what you can't control. These aren't theories, they're gentle invitations. Invitations to come home, to your breath, to your reason, to your true self. When you start slowing down, you begin to hear the things you once missed, the whisper of the wind, the quiet voice of your own heart, and the soft call of life itself. And maybe, just maybe, you'll realize something simple yet profound. Slowing down isn't about losing time, it's about finally seeing clearly. So before we dive into the 7 practices, I want you to try something small. Take a deep breath, hold it for a few seconds, and exhale slowly. Feel the air move through your lungs, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the calm spreading through your body. That right there is the first step to slowing down, and perhaps the first step to freedom. Way 1. Wake up with a calm mind. How did you wake up this morning? Was the first thing you did reaching for your phone, scrolling through notifications, reading the news, letting your mind get swept into the chaos of the world before you even took a breath? I know that feeling. I used to live like that too. Until one morning I woke up and didn't turn on a single device. I just sat there, listening to the sound of the wind through my window, and realized how long it had been since I last felt the quiet peace of an early morning. Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, remember what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." The Stoics believed that mornings set the tone for the mind. If you begin your day in chaos, your mind will echo that chaos back to you, but if you begin with calm, your entire day changes. I once worked with a young manager in Chicago, always busy, always tense. He told me, "The moment I wake up, I already feel anxious." I said to him, "Tomorrow morning, don't do anything for the first 10 minutes. Just sit, breathe, and remind yourself that you are alive." A week later, he texted me, "I never knew 10 minutes of silence could change my entire day." Slowing down begins the moment you open your eyes, when you choose presence over pressure. Way 2, do less, but do it meaningfully. We live in a time where everyone talks about productivity, KPIs, efficiency, time optimization. But here's the irony, the more we try to do, the less fulfilled we feel. Seneca once wrote, "No one is busier than the person who does not know where he is going." I once worked with a businessman in Los Angeles. He ran 2 companies, carried 3 phones, and never took a day off. One day he told me, "Soames, I work non-stop, but I have no idea what I'm chasing anymore." I asked him, if you had to stop tomorrow, what would truly matter?" He went silent. That's the trap for most of us. We're busy but not deep. We do many things, yet few of them hold meaning. To the Stoics, slowing down doesn't mean laziness, it means intentional living. It's about doing less, but doing what's truly worth doing. Epictetus said it best. It's not that we have little time, but that we waste much of it. When you dare to pause, when you choose to do less, you start owning your time instead of being chased by it. You stop obsessing over to-do lists and start focusing on what matters most, the purpose behind your actions. Ask yourself this simple question. Is what I'm doing right now bringing me closer to the life I want? If the answer is no, give yourself permission to stop. Because sometimes, a short pause is the longest step forward. Way 3, rediscover life's natural rhythm. Have you ever watched the sunrise? It never rushes. It doesn't explode into brightness just because the world wants it faster. It simply rises, slow, steady, perfectly on time. Nature always moves at its own pace, and the Stoics believe that to live in harmony with nature is to live in harmony with reason. Epictetus once said, "Do not wish for winter to become summer." Everything has its season, but modern life is different. We want everything now, quick results, quick success, quick happiness. We forget that everything truly lasting takes time. I once met a young woman in Seattle full of energy but constantly anxious. She told me, "I feel like I'm falling behind." I smiled and said, "You're not being left behind. You're just moving so fast that you've left yourself behind." She paused and then nodded quietly. Slowing down, according to Stoicism, means moving with life's natural rhythm, knowing when to advance and when to rest. Just as trees need time to grow and rivers need time to flow, people need moments of stillness to evolve. When you start living in sync with nature's rhythm, you no longer feel slow. You simply start living at the right speed for your soul. Way 4, practice intentional silence. We live in an age of noise, not just the sounds of cars, machines, or people, but the noise inside our minds. News, notifications, arguments, comparisons. Think about it. When was the last time you were truly silent? Not talking, not listening, not reacting, just sitting. Seneca once said, "If you wish to improve your mind, spend time alone." Slowing down is impossible without silence, because only in silence can you hear the most important voice, your own. I remember a young man from Texas who told me he was afraid of silence. He said, "When I'm alone, I feel empty, so I always play music or watch YouTube." I told him, "That emptiness isn't a problem, it's your mind begging for rest." He started sitting quietly for 10 minutes every morning. No phone, no music, just breathing. A month later he messaged me, "I'm not afraid of silence anymore." It feels like a friend now. Stoicism sees silence as the foundation of wisdom, because only a still mind can see clearly. Give yourself at least one quiet moment each day, a calm morning, an evening without social media, or a few minutes sitting by the window, looking out. In a world that moves too fast, silence is an act of courage. It isn't emptiness, it's the space where your soul begins to heal. Way 5. Free yourself from the pace of others. Have you ever felt like you're running a race you never chose to enter? You see people buying houses, earning fame, reaching milestones, and suddenly you feel you have to keep up. And before you know it, you're exhausted. Not because you're slow, but because you've been running at someone else's pace. Epictetus once said, "If you wish to be free, do not let your mind be ruled by others." Living slowly the Stoic way means moving at your own rhythm. You don't need to be faster than others. You don't even need to be like others, because every person walks a different path. A young woman in New York once told me, "All my friends are successful, and I'm still figuring out what I want." I feel like I've been left behind. I asked her, "Left behind by whom?" She went quiet, then smiled, realizing that no one was actually racing her but her own mind. Stoicism teaches that comparison is the root of anxiety. When you detach from the pace of others, you begin to breathe easier, live more honestly, and feel every step more deeply. A person who lives slowly doesn't measure life by achievements. They measure it by the peace within their heart, and no one else can measure that for you. Way 6. Reconnect with nature. Step outside just for a few minutes. Take a deep breath, feel the air on your skin, listen to the wind, smell the grass, watch the clouds drift by. You'll notice something. Nature moves at a healing rhythm that no city can replace. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Live in harmony with nature, for that is to live in harmony with reason." The Stoics saw nature not just as our environment, but as our greatest teacher. Because nature never rushes, everything in nature happens at the right time. Seasons come and go, the rain falls and stops, leaves fall and grow again. I once worked with a woman in San Francisco who worked in tech. She told me, "I feel completely disconnected from everything. I live between concrete and screens." I encouraged her to spend 15 minutes a day walking outside. No headphones, no podcasts, no distractions. A month later she messaged me, "I'm not sure if what I'm doing counts as stoicism, but I feel a strange kind of peace." That's exactly what modern stoicism looks like, returning to what's natural and simple. When you live closer to nature, you don't just calm your mind, you realign your soul with the rhythm of the universe. And in that slower rhythm, worries fade. And peace arrives, not as an achievement, but as a quiet homecoming. Way 7. Let go of what you can't control. If there's one core lesson in Stoic philosophy, it's this. Learn to distinguish between what you can control and what you can't. And once you understand that, you naturally begin to slow down, because you stop wasting energy on what's beyond your reach. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If something is beyond your control, let it be." We often rush not just because we want to achieve, but because we're afraid to lose, afraid of losing opportunities, positions, approval. But fear makes us react, not reason. A man I once worked with in Boston told me, "I'm always tense because I'm terrified of failing." I asked him, "If you did fail, what's the worst that could happen?" He paused, then said softly, "I guess I'd just have to start again." I smiled and said, "Then you're still free." Stoics live slowly because they understand that everything comes and goes according to nature's law. You can't force the river to flow your way, but you can learn to swim with it. When you stop trying to control everything, you begin to live at a new rhythm, the rhythm of acceptance, the rhythm of presence. And the paradox is this: it's only when you let go that you finally hold something real, the quiet peace you've been searching for all along. And when you practice these 7 ways of living slowly, when you begin practicing these 7 ways of slowing down, you'll realize something profound. Living slowly isn't going against the world's pace, it's coming back to your own nature. And that nature isn't rushed, competitive, or obsessed with proving anything. It simply wants to live fully in each breath. Stoicism teaches that wisdom doesn't come from speed, it comes from awareness. And as you slow down, you start to notice that every single moment has value, because for the first time in years you're actually here, present in your own life. Slow down to see more clearly. There's something I've learned after years of studying and teaching Stoicism. Not everyone needs to move fast, but everyone needs to know how to pause. We're born into a world that glorifies speed, where busy becomes a badge of honor, and slowing down is mistaken for weakness. But the truth is, only when you stop can you truly see where you're going. And only when you live slowly do you realize that you're really living. The Stoics never said we should escape life, they taught us how to live within it, amidst the chaos, the noise and the pressure, without losing our peace or clarity. Living slowly doesn't mean abandoning the world, it means not letting the world consume your soul. Returning to what truly matters, I once spoke with a middle-aged man who came to me after a major setback. He said, "I've spent my whole life climbing up, but now that I'm at the top, all I feel is emptiness." I asked him, Do you remember the last time you felt truly at peace? He thought for a long time, then said quietly, "Maybe when I went fishing with my father 20 years ago." I smiled because I understood. Sometimes slowing down isn't an act, it's a return to what's real, what's simple and what's alive. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Peace comes when the mind stops arguing with reality. And to stop arguing, you have to slow down enough to listen to the world and to yourself." Imagine this. It's early morning, you step outside, the dew still clings to the leaves, the sky hasn't yet filled with noise. You take a deep breath, cool air fills your lungs, and in that quiet moment, you don't need anything else. No goals, no comparisons, no need to be someone. You're just you. And in Stoicism, that's one of the purest forms of freedom. Living slowly isn't about going against the world, it's about moving in rhythm with life itself. No rushing, no competing, just walking with your breath, with nature, with yourself, because nature never hurries. The river still flows, the clouds still drift, the trees still grow, even when no one's watching, and we can live the same way. You don't need to be perfect to be at peace. You just need to be present when you show up, truly, in each moment, each touch, each breath. Life naturally becomes lighter, deeper and more beautiful. If this video spoke to you, leave a comment below and share a moment when you truly slowed down. Was it a quiet morning, a cup of coffee without rushing, or just 5 minutes of breathing before the day began? And don't forget to subscribe and like to continue this journey with Stoic Awakening More, a journey to rediscover calm in a fast world, to relearn the art of slowing down without giving up, and to be fully present without losing yourself. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, feel that breath reminding you you're still here, you're still alive. Slow down, not to waste time but to finally find yourself.